Hi, welcome to Sports Talk on Spanish Fork 17. I'm your host, Ken Money, and I'm joined by my good friend
Sam Higginson. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, and as you can see, we're not in our studios. We're here in the Commons area of Spanish Fork High School. Got to bring back some memories for
Yeah, I'm a
Fork
graduate of 1994 and had a great experience here. Won a state championship in baseball and played for the football team. So it's nice to be back here. This was once where the round room was. I don't know that you remember that, but this was a big bathroom right here, and now it's a Commons area. So
they've done such a nice job. It looks good. We'd like to thank Spanish Fork High School for allowing us to come. And we have a special guest with us today. A longtime friend, somebody that we've known, graduate of Spanish Fork High School. We're talking a little bit of college football, and our guest today is Asiata. Played for 3 years here at Spanish Fork High School. Started every game as offensive lineman for University of Utah this season as a sophomore. And Isaac, I know you've got a busy schedule. We'd like to just say thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me. It's always good to be back here.
Bring back some memories?
Yeah, I didn't know this was a bathroom area.
Yeah, I know. I didn't either.
Yeah, it does bring me back a lot, looking around.
I mean, you two guys had both exceptional athletic careers playing football. I'm sure there's a lot of memories. Probably lots of girls chased through here.
Yeah, probably more for him.
No. Well, I will tell you this, though. One of the things that's nice to have a guy like Isaac on the show is, here in Spanish Fork, this community, we really care about the guys that go on and have success. And one of the things that Ken and I were talking about before the interview started was that we watched, 13 Utah football games this year, and we only watched the offensive line. So
that's Isaac on every play.
Yeah, it's interesting, because normally you're watching the QBs, the running backs, the receivers, the guys that get all the glory, but in fact, here in Spanish Fork, we watch the old line. So it's kind of fun.
My son would say, "Man, that was a great run." I go, "Really? I didn't even see it. I was watching Isaac throw a block, opening the hole for him." So that's great. So Isaac, let's talk. I'm going to give a little bit of your statistics because you'd never do it. First team All-State, junior and senior year, captain, junior and senior year. That's a little bit unusual to be a junior captain. It shows your leadership, and then a 3-year starter at Spanish Fork. So. As you look around here, and we pulled your old jersey from, you won't even fit into it now,
it
right?
doesn't fit anymore. That was like almost 100 pounds ago.
100 pounds ago. Yeah, that'll tighten up the seams a little bit. So let's just talk about playing at Spanish Fork High School. As you think about, is it a blur? Do certain games stick out?
No, there was I could never forget my high school career. Sometimes I think about, I would give up playing college football for another 3 years here. I loved high school. I loved the camaraderie I had with my teammates. I still best friends with a lot of my teammates, and I had a great coaching staff with Matt Christensen as my head coach and Todd Jackson as my O-line coach. And so, it was fun. It was a great 3 years. I learned a lot, and it got me ready for the next level. I really appreciated the coaches and and the community and this high school that got my name out there and helped me to get to where I am today. So
I just remember him dominating. I mean, it wasn't enough to make one block and knock a guy down, but there's 2 and 3, and he's beating the running backs into the end zone sometimes. How fast he was, and it was a lot of fun. So, so you're playing at University of Utah. You guys are in a little break. You just finished a very successful season.
Yeah,
9 wins. I think if somebody would have told you at the beginning of the year 9 wins, I think you'd have taken that in a minute.
Yeah, I even think I don't think a lot of people believed that a winning season. I think that people were expecting another 5-7 season. So, we kind of rallied at the beginning of the season and said, we're just going to do what we know we can do, and here we are, 9-4, getting ready for the next season.
And really playing college football at the highest level. Probably playing in
the best conference in college football this year.
Absolutely, and to be 9-4.
So tell me this, throughout your career, and we just had the final bell ring, so we're going to have kids all over out here, but tell us this. When you were in high school and you went through that recruiting process, you probably understood maybe your sophomore, junior year that it was a potential for you, that you were probably going to have an opportunity to play at the next level. Tell us, was there a breakthrough moment for you? Or who helped you? What was that moment like when you understood you were going to go?
I owe a lot of my mental aspect preparing to Todd Jackson. He was my O-line coach all 3 years that I was here, and he would pull me aside. He always, he'd love all 5 of us, the linemen, the same. But
and we should add, he was an offensive lineman at University of Utah.
He played at the University of Utah, but he pulled me aside. I still remember my junior year, and he told me, he's like, "Hey, you have a shot if you take this seriously." And I was, at the time I was like, it was something I wanted, but not something at the time that I believed that I could actually do. And so when I finally was getting ready, my senior year came up, and then the offers started coming in. Then you start building confidence, you start playing hard, you start getting things going, and then next thing I know, I'm signing.
And don't let me jump in, but did your offers come as a result of film, or was it because of camps and clinics?
I didn't really go to many camps. Most of it was film. I sent out every Division I school and then some. My film out there, and so I would say most of it was just film. I didn't go to many camps. The only camps that I went to was I went to a BYU camp, went to a Utah camp, and then I went to the U.S. Army All-American Combine.
So you knew Utah from the very beginning?
Yeah, well, at the time.
I know.
Yeah. It's hard with a lot of people trying to focus. Are we still going?
Yeah.
It's all right.
Okay. Well,
cut it.
yeah, so, okay, ask the question again.
So Utah, was it always going to be University of Utah? Or?
Well, I've always wanted to play at the University of Utah. My family last name has a legacy there with Matt and Sean. And so, when I was going through high school getting offers, Utah didn't offer me for a while, and it wasn't, I knew it wasn't because they didn't want me, but it was just, things on their end, I guess. But the only offer I had was BYU, and I still get a lot of crap about it today. I did an interview where BYU was my only offer, and I did an interview and I said, BYU is my number one because that's all I have. But people think that BYU is my number one because I wanted to go there. I respect the program.
Right.
Nothing but respect for those guys, but Utah, it was always a dream to play there. So
where else did you make official business besides University of Utah, BYU? What other schools?
I went to Utah State. I took a couple of officials, Oregon State, all the other schools, BYU, places like that. But my favorite is still Utah. So.
Still Utah.
Tell me this, do you remember how many offers did you end up at the end of the deal?
I honestly do not remember. I'm sure my mom has it in the scrapbooks.
I'm sure she does, yeah.
I guess it doesn't really matter now because you're a starting offensive guard up at the University of Utah. You got two more full seasons left, and this year started all 13 games.
Yeah, all season long. Yeah.
So great. Let's go back to high school for a minute. Is there just a moment that sticks out in your mind, starting as a 3-year starter, that I don't know, was your greatest moment or just something in your mind?
My favorite moment was my senior year. It was the first round of playoffs. We played in Mountain View High, and it went to double overtime. And I remember first overtime we went 3 and out, and then they could have kicked a shank, just little pooch kick, 3 yards for a field goal to win.
Over.
Yeah, and Sean Leifson came in, batted the ball down, and we go to double overtime. Well, we stopped them on defense, and then on offense we go in, we scored. We win the game. I remember as soon as we scored, I just sat, I collapsed, and I just watched.
Exhausted?
I watched the stands, and I watched all my players. They all bum rushed me, and everything happened so much. I'll never forget.
Such great memories. That's something you'll just tell your grandkids about that.
Yeah.
You can't put a price tag on something like that.
Yeah.
That's so
Now,
great.
I was going to ask this question a little bit later, but I'm going to throw it out right now, and we'll get back to the bowl in just a minute. But you've played in the Big House. You've played at the Rose Bowl. What's more difficult, doing this interview right now at the end of school with all of these students around,
and trying to focus,
or trying to snap the football and run it down in the Rose Bowl?
I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty hard. There's a lot of people walking around. It's pretty loud, but at the Big House, UCLA. All those big stadiums.
110,000 people in Michigan.
I can't imagine that this was worse than that.
No, I think that would be a little
the only thing you can do is close your ears and just think about what you're going to do and wait for the ball to go. So, here I don't really have a key and I don't know what's coming next, but it's probably harder.
Let me ask you something just came to my mind. So it's really loud there, 110,000 people. You're the count, you're going on 3. How hard is it not to jump on 2? I'm just,
I would be lying if I said I didn't jump off sides a couple of times on those things, but it's a mental thing.
Yeah,
you got to be. During a game when the play's getting called, you're calling out the defense. You're saying which way the line's going to slide, this, and this, and then you got to know at that same time that the ball can be snapped on that snap count. So you got to figure out what your assignment is, and then for me, I figure out who I'm going to block, and then I just wait.
Too many things.
Yeah, too many things. So I just, it's a mental thing. You got to be able to focus in, and we practice that.
Okay.
So,
all right. We're going to take a little quick break, and then when we come back, we got a lot of questions.
A lot of bowl talk.
I want to talk about your experience in the Vegas Bowl in Colorado State. So we'll talk about that when we come back in just a minute. All right, welcome back to Sports Talk. We have our guest here. We're in the Commons area at Spanish Fork High School. School just got out, it's a little crazy, but we have Isaac Asiata, graduate from Spanish Fork High School. Started every game at the University of Utah this last year as an offensive right guard.
I played right at the beginning of the year, switched over to left.
You also played some tackle, right?
I played tackle my freshman year in 2013.
Okay, so I got a bizarre question before we get into the bowl. You're playing on ESPN, a bunch of people watching. You ever tempted just to fake an injury to get the camera on you?
No.
Come on, Isaac. No, I'd pull a hammy for a minute.
Or just jump offside.
Just so your mom can see you.
You just never want to. I mean, O-line don't get put on the camera at all, and so. I mean, I wouldn't want to get put on the camera because I'm hurt. If I'm legitimately hurt, then that's fine.
But you'd rather be downfield blocking and then replay that slow motion.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about the bowl game. Utah had a little bit of a drought. Hadn't been to a bowl game in I think it was 3 years, 4 years.
Yeah, my true freshman year in 2011 was the last year we went.
Right. So here we're at 14. So it was a nice change to get into a bowl game. Mm-hmm. And then to tell me, when they said the Vegas Bowl, were you like excited?
Oh, I was stoked because when I was a freshman, we could have went to the Vegas Bowl. And, I mean, a lot of fans and people they based it off like the prestige of the bowl game. Obviously, we went to the Sun Bowl when I was in 2011, and that's a better bowl game than Vegas. I mean, looking at it standing-wise, I guess. But how players, at least I look at it, it's location. Las Vegas is a great location.
Family can get there easily.
Yeah,
and friends.
it's a closer drive. You know, people can fly out to the game. When we played there, I thought it was a home game.
It was.
The majority of people there were all in red.
So, I was surprised by that.
Well, I would imagine that any kids 18 to 22, you're either going to be in South Florida, Vegas, or maybe Southern California for a bowl game. So you guys, at least location-wise, you guys lucked out.
Was it warm? You had it warm?
Yeah, it was pretty warm. It was cold that night, but throughout the day, it was probably in the 70s.
Now, I saw a team meeting they showed on the news before you're preparing, and here comes in 3 Vegas dance.
Yeah, they brought the showgirls.
They brought the showgirls into your meeting before you left Salt Lake.
Girls,
you were there?
Yeah.
That's funny. So Colorado State, who's really, it's almost kind of a no-win thing, because if you beat them, you probably should beat them, and if you lose to them, then the pack, a little pressure from the conference. So were you nervous about the game? When you heard Colorado State, did you think,
when I heard Colorado State, I followed college football, and they're a good team. When we got matched with them, a lot of people were like, oh, like you said, if we win, you should have beat them. If you lost, you should have beat them, and it's worse.
Right.
So, when I found out who we were playing, I knew they were a good team. I was excited to play them, and I think they're 10-2.
And their coach had just
the coach went to Florida.
Right.
But they were playing to set a school record of most wins in the season.
There's a lot of momentum behind their program. This is a big bowl game for them.
So it was a big one for them, and it is for us. We hadn't been to a bowl game. And ESPN projected us to lose, and and so that was kind of
there's the motivation.
Gives you that added motivation.
Some more fire under you. So
take us through the bowl game experience. I'm interested to know. Here at Spanish Fork, the guys get on the bus. Sometimes the Booster Club, we go the extra mile. We make a sandwich for them, and they get on the bus. Yeah, and we'll even throw a Gatorade in there sometimes. But when you get to go to a bowl game, take the viewers through an experience of a Division I football bowl game experience.
To kind of just give you a summary of the week, we all drove down individually.
Really? That surprises me a little bit.
Yeah, they had a charter bus that would go down. We could get on the bus and ride down. Or we drive down ourselves, and then we get the money for traveling down.
Oh, interesting.
And so a lot of players just, all got in the cars together and went down. We got to Vegas, had a team meeting that day, and then the next day we have events throughout the day with the other team.
What hotel did you stay at?
We stayed at the Delano. It's right next to Mandalay Bay.
Has the casino in it?
Yeah, it was a nice hotel. Nice. I didn't know what the Delano was.
I've never heard of it.
It's very nice. It's right next to the Mandalay Bay. It's the big gold windows.
Yeah,
and I bet
like Trump Towers.
I bet as soon as they said Vegas, I'm going to guess there's some pretty strict rules come down.
Yeah, we did have strict rules. We had, the cop came talk to us. Obviously, the obvious what you can and cannot do there, underage, stuff like that. And we had a curfew, 1 a.m. for the first 2 nights, and then midnight the next night, and then 10:30 the night before the game.
10:30.
So most of the time I spent with my teammates. Going around Vegas and checking it out and
fun
doing the team events and
people watching. Yeah. So and then is there gifts involved? I mean, I've always heard that you do get some gifts.
They do a point system where they do a gift suite where you go in a room and there's a whole bunch of bowl gifts. You get 6 points. The big things like like beats and a GoPro. Those are all your points. Or you can get little things that add up to 6 points.
So you walk in, it looks like a little store set up there.
Basically, yeah.
So what'd you walk away with?
I walked away with the LG soundbar, and so it's just a nice little stereo system.
Nice. Just something you can have to remember. Very
That's
nice.
exciting. So here's a question. Did you consider yourself a college football fan before you became a Division I football player?
Probably not so much as I am now. Back then, in high school, it was more simple. There was high school football, video games, and girls. That was about
That summed it up right
that's
there.
about it. So, and then I got there, and you're always around, you're always curious what's going on in the conferences around you, in your own conference. And so, you become more of a bigger fan. I watch it, I follow it a lot closer now, too. So.
And you kind of get to know guys. As you're in the recruiting process, you know good players, so you might know somebody playing at Michigan or somebody playing at Oregon.
I got a few teammates or guys I went to camps with that I met. They're playing, so
that's kind of fun.
It's cool to see them again and see their success. Happy for them. So
it seems to me that on the field of battle, you guys are you're out there attacking each other. I mean, you're 6'4", 315-pound offensive lineman going against 6'5" or 6'2", 300-pound D lineman, and you're battling out there, but at the end of the game, there seems to be a good camaraderie, some kind of a respect there. Tell us about that a little bit.
For me personally, it's when you go into the game, during the game, those guys, they're the enemy. They're the person you're trying to beat, and so there's no love on the football field. Yeah. But, after the game, you kind of earn respect for the player. They stayed in, they battled back and forth. They may have got you a few times, you got them a few times. And, when it's over, it's over. There's no off the field, anything, so shake hands. And
that kind of leads into my question. Well, two things. One, you got to shake hands with the Heisman Trophy winner, playing against Oregon.
Yeah, that was
Marcus
fun.
Mariota. That's cool.
He's a good guy.
A good guy. And two, I want to talk trash talking, because I'm going to guess you're as good a trash talker. Who's the best trash talker on the University of Utah football team?
Ooh. Definitely a defensive guy. I would probably say our D lineman. His name is Senny.
And he's just always going.
Oh, yeah, he's yapping all the time.
Go.
It's great, though, because it gets everybody pumped up.
Does it? So how about you?
Me, I love trash talk. It's part of the game.
Give me an example that we can use on family TV.
I can't say it on family TV for that exact reason.
Okay. Anything to get under the guy's skin, right?
Yeah, anything to get in his head, to get him to jump off sides, to get him flustered, not knowing what he's going to do. He gets so mad he doesn't know his assignment blown.
Let's talk, how about at Michigan? You told me there was a little going back.
Yeah,
and
I got back and forth with a couple of their D linemen, and it's.
What's he questioning about you?
He asked if I was Polynesian or not, and
you take that personal,
said I wasn't
right?
Polynesian. Yeah, and it's it's like, okay, well, my last name, I'm Simone, I got the tattoos, and so obviously I am. I didn't know what he was saying.
Did it make you mad? Did you?
No, I laughed. I
you
was like, what kind of trash talk is that?
That's
so
weak.
Okay, all right.
That's so funny.
That's really funny. So, in talking about bowls, your bowl's over. Your next year, your junior year is about to start up at Utah, but there's one final bowl game left: Ohio State, Oregon.
Yeah.
Who are you rooting for, and who do you think wins?
For sure, Oregon, conference, fellow conference,
Pac-12.
Team, and there's the Pac-12. We have a thing on Twitter, Back the Pack, backing up our teams who are in a bowl game, and I have nothing but respect for those guys. It was a great game playing them. They have phenomenal athletes, and so I'm excited. I know that we have the best conference in the nation, college football, and so I'm excited for Oregon to go out and show everybody else and all the other conferences what Pac-12 is all about.
That's going to be fun. Everybody's going to be watching. I have a quick question about, I know after watching you, kind of a unique thing that I've noticed you do that I don't see a lot of other football players. They all put some kind of eye black on their face. And yours looks like, man, you go through two tubes. It's
almost to a whole new level.
Let's talk. I mean, it looks to me like you've got it clear across your whole face.
I do a line right above my eyebrow, and I do a line right over the tip of my nose, and I fill it in.
All black.
And nobody knew what it was. I didn't say anything. And then after the bowl game, I finally said what it was, and it's the Don mask, the Spanish Fork High School Don, our mascot.
I think that's the
Like
coolest.
that.
You're representing your high school.
So it's our mask, and that I liked it a lot, and so.
It's a great idea.
Yeah, so it's.
Always representing Spanish Fork, and that's
so
one of the reasons that we're so happy to have him on the show today.
Oh, I think that's the coolest. And we're almost out of time. I want to talk tattoos. You mind?
Okay, tattoos.
You got some unique tattoos that I mean, it looks to me like it's a bigger part of the game. A lot of players doing it. Something, maybe talk a little bit about the significance.
So I have one on my shoulder. Well, in general, Polynesian tribal, it's unique to you. It has something to do with your family, your culture, everything. I'm Samoan, so most of my tattoo designs, they're all Samoan, and I got this piece done first. My brothers and I, we share the same tattoo in a sense. My oldest brother, he has this lower part of my tattoo. This isn't his. This middle part is mine that I had my own, and then the top part is my little brother who has this in his tattoo. And so, I mean, it was something that meant, you know, they haven't told me, but it's something that meant something to them, and they, you know, and it was family related. So I got it on me. It means something to me. And then this, I got this outside piece is courage. This inside piece is strength. And then where is the other one? Well, there's another one in here. I just put.
If we have time, Sam will show you the butterfly he's got. It's really, you're gonna love that. So, no, I think that's really. Are you done? You gonna get more tattoos?
I am. I'm planning on getting the rest of these sleeved out. We'll see.
Both of them, huh?
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Quick question. Do you have aspirations of playing the NFL?
I do. I really do. It's a dream. I know it'll put me, myself, my family in a better position in the future, and you know, it's something that I hope to do one day.
Well, I would think as potentially a 3-year starter to visit a program like Utah's.
And 6'4", 315. I mean, you fit right into the size. I mean, to the metric side of things.
Oh,
so,
absolutely.
I would imagine that being a 3-year starter in the Pac-12 can't hurt.
Yeah. So it's all about, you know, working on little things during the off season, and you know, I got 2 more years left of this, so obviously I want to get my technique down. And,
all right, so
so
will you say right now when you're the starting right guard for the Green Bay Packers, you scouts honor, you'll come back and talk to me and Sam right
yeah,
here where we
I
are.
promise. I'll come back and talk to you for whoever's paying me. In the
Even
NFL.
if you're a Patriot or if
Anybody.
you're okay,
Yeah.
well that's great. I know you're busy. I know there's a lot going on. Real quick, school. We should mention that. What's your major?
I'm an economics major, and I have a minor in entrepreneurship and sociology.
So 20 years from now, what do you want to be doing?
I honestly don't know. I talked to Nate Orchard, our DN, and
worked out
he
well for
said
him.
his advice was to get the best degree that looks great on a piece of paper.
There you
so,
go.
You know, obviously, I don't know what I want to do yet. I just wanted to, you know, I didn't want to get the lower degree, and so.
How difficult is it to do the school and the football?
You know, it's always people think that it's easy. I mean, school's paid for. It's a blessing. I love it. I'm not, you know, I'm grateful for it. But it's hard. It's just like working a regular job and going to school. So
Time, there's only so much time in a day.
But we have time set aside where we have study hall where we have to go get our schoolwork done and then come back and go to football.
So you're busy. Well, that even makes me appreciate more you taking some time to drive down from Salt Lake, come here to the Commons, look around, kind of get that nostalgic feeling. You two Spanish Fork guys, football players here. Yeah. It's great. But we really appreciate your time and your effort. And,
thanks for having me.
Okay, we got it all down. We're going to get him back here when he's playing for the Packers.
Yeah, for sure.
So good.
Excited about it.
Best of luck. Enjoy your off season. Don't eat too much so you don't have to shed too much weight.
Right. Yeah.
And good luck for next season.
Thanks,
Thanks
so much for joining us.
Thanks so much.
And that's all the time we have tonight. Join us again on Sports Talk as we cover all the sports that are going on at Spanish Fork High School, Maple Mountain. Any slant, we're there to cover it. So
absolutely. Tonight, in fact.
Tonight
we are covering
Spanish Fork basketball.
Spanish Fork basketball.
Yeah, so thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Sports Talk.